I never know how to start these things off. Hey guys, it's Lachlan here. Welcome back to my channel. Actually, welcome to my channel, lol. This is my first video that will be going up. I'm sorry, this intro is going to be really awful because I don't know how to do an intro. That was the intro. For today's video, we're going to be doing something I am so excited to do. I have had this palette sitting in front of me for like 2 days now, and I've wanted to just rip into it and go straight to playing with everything, but I knew I wanted to film a video on it and give it a fair shot on film first. Let me just show you the palette. I'm sure you've seen it, but this is the James Charles X Morphe palette. Firstly, congrats to James for making such an amazing palette. I've actually already cracked into this palette and had a go at it. I just put it back in the box to make it look a bit nicer for this video. But I have not used any of the shades on my eyes or my face. Just straight off the bat, I love the packaging for this. I don't want to drop it, but... oh. If you open it up, this is what it looks like. So that's what the palette looks like. You will get this plastic sheet with all the names on it. It doesn't come sticky taped, obviously. I've just done that myself. So it is stunning. Like, you've got 2 of your top rows, which are like completely glam shades. Then you've got this beautiful middle section, which is like all the standard shades you'd need to make anything. Like, it's good. And then all the bottom is all of your rainbow shades. So yeah, that's the layout of the palette. For today's look, I really want to do something that's very colorful and very out of the box. I'm going to be recreating this look that's going to pop up right here. Check her out. Go give her a follow because she is absolutely amazing. So without further ado, if you'd like to see me put that palette on my face, keep on watching. So the palette was 59 Australian dollars, so it was literally just under the free shipping. But I knew I wanted to get a couple things from Morphe anyway, so I ended up buying, this is the Morphe eyelid primer. James did recommend to use this with this palette, so I thought I would see how they mesh together. I'm just taking just a little bit on my finger, and we're gonna put it on both lids. So it doesn't say on here to set it, so I'm going to assume this is like the MAC paint pot and the P. Louise base, stuff like that, where you can just lay it down. It'll slightly dry down, but it'll remain a little tacky, So I'm going to be taking, this is a Morphe M506. I don't know if this is in the brush set. I don't know if any of the brushes I'm using are in the brush set. Yeah, we're going to take shade Playground first, which is this really pretty... blue color here. We're going to be popping that both on the outer and the inner part of the eye. It's going to be a sort of halo cut crease thing you would have seen in the picture. Tap off. There's not a lot of fallout with this shadow. It's pretty good. It's pretty normal. It's nothing crazy like ABH Subculture, or I can't remember another palette that did it, but it's pretty normal. Let's see how this goes onto the eye. I think I tapped like 3 or 4 times and I've tapped the excess off. It's not super crazy pigmented, but I did tap off a lot. So let me just tap in again. I'm not going to tap it off this time. Oh, yeah, okay. Do now that I've placed the shadow where I where I want it, I'm just going to firstly just take some of the excess shadow off the brush so it doesn't move the color too far, and I'm just going to blend it around. I'm having a little bit of an issue with this blue straight up. Maybe it's just me needing to pack it on a little bit more, because I feel like as I'm blending it, there's just a little bit of patchiness coming up. So now that we've got that blue laid down, I'm really happy with where that's sitting. We're gonna go in with the shade Social Blade, which is this green just down in the corner here. Okay, cool. So that is where we're at the moment. Gonna use one more shade on the upper lid before we do the half cut thingy-mabob. So just to sort of fill in that little area there where the blue and the green haven't really touched yet, I'm gonna tap into the shade B, and just straight away you get a lot on the brush, but there's not a lot of fallout. I'm not gonna tap it off again, I'm just gonna lightly sort of pack it down and then blend in those two areas. So now that we've got all the color placed down where we like it, I'm really liking how this looks. I know it looks a bit weird at the moment, to say the least, but once I cut it, it's gonna make a lot more sense. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I cut the crease there, and then I set it with the shade Flashback, which is the matte white, and I just packed that on to really get it nice and pigmented. It's looking really nice. Now we're just gonna blend the edges ever so slightly. Why it's doing that. Ugh. So I'm running into a little trouble, you guys. And I don't know if it's just the way I've done it or if it's the shadow, but the outer corner is blended really nice. Like, I don't know who I was trying to kid with that. That outer corner had not blended whatsoever, as you can clearly see on the camera, but who knows what I was thinking. It's good. However, the inner corner, like where the concealer was, and I set that concealer, like, I did the same as what I did on this side as what I've done on this side. Set it completely with that white shade, it was fine. Like, I'm getting in there to try and hide the fact that there is this massive line of demarcation. I don't know, and then when I put the green back over it to try and like blend it into the white there, I feel like that line comes back and I can't stop it. Like, you can see where the concealer was. Even though I set it and did everything I normally would if I did a cut crease or anything, I'm really disappointed about that because I want this palette to work really well, because I do really like I love James Charles, do not get me wrong there. This is not me faking it for views or anything, but seriously, I'm having a lot of trouble mostly with this blue shade. I feel like that's as good as I'm going to get. Like, So at this point in filming, I was pretty done with it. I did do another eye, but even then I wasn't like that happy with it. There was still a lot of kinks I wanted to work out. So I didn't say it when filming, but I did decide I did say I was going to trial this palette like 2 more times. I was going to make it like a 3-day trial. So you're going to see two more looks from me, and they're my final thoughts, obviously. So enjoy that. So I'm gonna just go straight in with this. I'm just gonna use a flat brush just to pop it on. Fully set it again, and then I'm gonna use like some orange shades on the lid to blend that in, and just it'll be really pretty. I can just see it now. So I'm just starting off with the shade. Where did that thing go? The shade Pinkity Drinkity. I'm just gonna go use that as my transition shade for everything. So I'm going to take, and I'm a little bit scared for this because I've seen a lot of people say it stains really bad. Some girl apparently got hives from it, but I'm still keen to try it. So we're gonna go in with the shade Skip. And like, yeah, no, that blends really nicely. Like, there is no problems with that shade. Maybe I was wrong to judge this palette so harshly to begin with. Okay, so I finished blending that pink on the other eye. I had no problems whatsoever with this shade, so I'm actually really happy and optimistic about today's look. We're gonna go in and deepen up a little bit. We're gonna go into the shade Single, which is right next to Skip. Okay, so I blended that shade, what was it called? I blended the shade Single on my eye, and it worked beautifully. So far so good. Let's keep this good train rolling because I don't want to stuff it up at this point. We're gonna go in with Escape, and I'm only gonna use this on the outer corner just to really build that color up. Okay, so that is all the purples done on my eye. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my crease, but I'm gonna use the MAC paint pot to cut it instead of a concealer. And then while that is still slightly tacky, I'm gonna take the shade Flashback on another brush, and I'm just gonna pop that over top just to make sure it's completely set in place. So I just finished cutting off and setting that eye, so now I'm just gonna go and do the other one, and then I'll be right back to finish blending the shadows. Okay, so now that I've cut those creases, I packed on the shade Flashback to set it, and I'm feeling very confident that it's set in place. What I'm going to do is I want to transition it into orange. So I'm gonna start with the shade Single and blend that on the outer edge and see how we go there. Okay. I'm pleasantly surprised now because that blended like a dream on the outer corner. Like, I had no issues. Holy moly, I think I'm really surprised and happy now. I'm going to go in with the shade 518, which is that nice bright orange. And I'm gonna pop that just next to that purple, and I'll blend them together with a little bit of that pink shade called Skip. Okay, damn. Like, Holy moly, James Charles did that. So next, just that orange, I'm going to be going in with the shade B on that same sort of packer brush, and I'm just going to pack that right from the inner corner into that orange and then blend them together. And let me tell you, if you're looking for a really pigmented yellow, this palette's got you covered. I didn't even have to blend them together. The orange and the yellow mesh just, they were made to go together like, oh, magoye. I'm gonna go and do this eye off of camera and I will be right back. So I'm just gonna be taking my small e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. I think this is actually this is the smudger brush. I really love this for the lower lash line. And gonna go in with the shade Skip again and just smudge that all on my lower lash line. Okay, so I didn't realize my camera stopped recording literally just as I went to do the lower lash line, but nothing changed there. I just blended the shade Skip and the shade Escape on the lower lash line, joined it up to my top lash. Top lid, sorry. And that's pretty much all you missed, so nothing too exciting there. I didn't have any issues with blending. It literally just blended like a dream, like the rest of the shadows did on the top of my eye. I'm just gonna go and do my liner and lashes now off of camera, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so this is the final look for today. It's where I'm gonna stop. I'm really happy with how this eye look turned out. And yeah, that's it. So keep on watching if you want to see the third look. Hey guys, so I know this is really a random insert. I know I could have just filmed it from my tripod, but I didn't want to set it up while I was doing this first half of the look. But I just have one thing to say, and I'm finding it's really heartbreaking to say, but it's the blue. It's Playground. I've been blending for it literally an hour. 1 hour. And I use my MAC paint pot like I did previous day where everything blended perfectly and I know that primer works for me. And I've been blending for like an hour and I've been doing exactly what James said where I was packing down, so placing the shadow where I want it to be. And making sure like I had my eye shape ready and I was like, yeah, I love this. And then when I go to blend it out, can you see that on the outer edge where I've been trying and trying and trying to blend this out? It's like all the pigments here, like it just blend, and it does. The other issue is it just won't do a solid blend like cleanly. Every time I try to blend it, the pigment moves off of parts of my lid. Like I've had no issues with every other shade except for the shade Playground. And I know how to blend eyeshadow out. I've had the Morphe 35B for a while now. And that palette I was fine with. I didn't have any troubles, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying to blend this in and out, but I don't know. I don't know. So it's random camera Lachlan again. I wanted to show you something before I even start filming my segment for the other half of my face, which who knows when I'm gonna get to that. So I'm having trouble with the shade. This is the shade Cola. So it's the shade just underneath Playground, which is that like Pepsi inspired cola shade. Okay, I don't know if you can see, I have packed it on to this area, and a little bit in the middle. And I'm now taking, this is an M506 blending brush from Morphe. I use it all the time. I never have any issues with blending. It's always good, it's always been good to me, and I've got like 3 or 4 of them. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend the edges of that shade out.
I'm doing this really funnily because I am looking into the camera at the same time as trying to blend that in.
Okay, and we'll call that a blend for now. And let me just get up in my mirror so I can see what if... Yeah, it happened again. But I don't know if you can see, but some of the shadows literally just disappeared off my lid. And the rest of it is patchy AF. So I don't know what to say here. I don't even know if I'm gonna complete this look. I am literally so frustrated. Hi guys, it's day 3 of me trying out the James Charles palette, and I don't know if you can already tell, but I've already half done one eye. And that's as much as I'm going to be doing. I just want to start off by saying that, James, if you do somehow watch this video, do not hate me. I am not trying to come for you. I'm not trying to come for Morphe. This is my personal experience with these eyeshadows. Am I saying they're not going to work for other people? No. But for me personally, there is just some issues with this palette and something's off and I don't know what it is. And I don't know, maybe I just have a bad batch. I don't know. I'm just having some serious sister issues with this palette. So let's start by just going through it. We've got said palette here. As you know, I've used it. I've done 1, 2, 3. This is technically the 4th time I've played with the colors in this palette. So I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp of what I like and what I don't like. Let's start off with the negative. So I just need to get that like out of the road. I just want to like say it, move it along and just forget about it. The shade Playground and the shade Cola, they do not work for me whatsoever, and it's really frustrating me now because I spent $60 on this palette. For me, I expect this to perform to perfection like my other eyeshadows that I've spent the same amount of money on. And look, this palette is beautiful. Like, you've got all the colors of the rainbow. But those 2 blue shades, for me personally, and I obviously cannot speak for everyone because everyone's experience is going to be different. I've seen people on Instagram create amazing, beautiful looks with using the blue shades. I was trying to recreate one I saw today and like, it's just not happening. My issue is that it packs down perfectly fine. Like, you get the color payoff, you build it up, you get a nice, like, where you want it. The minute I try to blend it out in any way, shape, or form, and I'm using another small brush. This is the M506. It's a detailed pointer brush. And it's fluffy. Like, it's not like a hard brush. Like, it's firm but fluffy. It's good. Every time I try to blend these 2 blue shades out, they A, go patchy, and B, they don't want to... It's really weird. I don't know how to explain it, but essentially they don't want to stop blending out. But I literally had packed like maybe from here to here in a little like rectangle, and then the same on the inner corner. Like, I didn't do a lot because I was like, it's gonna blend out heaps. And this is how far it has blended out, and it will not stop blending. What I think is happening is the pigment's not sticking to my lid, because when I blend it, it's going patchy in other places, but then the pigment's moving and it just keeps blending and blending and blending. So that's my only negative criticism towards this palette. For those 2 negatives, there's so much positivity to this palette. Every other shade in the palette, including the greens, including the purples and the pinks and all of the glam shades, they all worked perfectly fine. Those 2 are my only issue, this one and this one. And also this yellow. I have to give props to Morphe and James so much for that yellow. This yellow shade B is so pigmented. It is amazing. I'm probably going to use, like, I'm probably going to hit pan on that so quickly because I love yellow eyeshadow. So final thoughts on this palette. It's not a bad palette. However, it's not a good palette either. I think it has some kinks that need to be worked out still, but that's not up to me. That is between James and Morphe. I really hope that I just got a dud palette and that everyone else's shades work perfectly. That would be beautiful. If you do want this palette, I recommend buying it at your own discretion. I'm not going to tell you to go out and purchase it because I love it. I'm not going to tell you not to purchase it because I hate it. I'm very neutral on this palette. I think I'll still get a lot of use out of it. All those like top shades, all those middle shades, and just every shade other than the blues in here, I love. So that is my final thoughts. If you do want to go and get the palette, just do it knowing you may have trouble with some of the shades. That's my only thing. Other than that, it's a good palette. So that is all for this video, guys. I know it's been a bit of a journey, to say the least. I did not intend to do a 3-day trial of this palette, but here we are. If you did like this video and you liked watching me, please hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps me out. And if you also want to hit the notification bell just down in the corner there, you can be notified when I upload more videos. You can follow me on all my social media. It'll all be linked just on the bottom of the screen here and also down in the description box. I really, really thank you guys so much for watching and taking the time to like come through this little experience with me. And feel free to comment below. Do you have this palette? Have you had good experiences with the shades that didn't work for me? Have you had awful experiences? Tell me below. I would love to hear about it. And I will see you in the next video, guys. So thank you very much and bye.